Good evening and thank you for joining us for KREM News at 5 tonight. I'm Mark Hanrahan. Whitney has the evening off. We begin tonight with some breaking news. Spokane police are responding to a shooting by Spokane Falls Community College. That's where we find KREM 2's Kyle Simchuk at this hour. And Kyle, what have you learned?
Well, Mark, we've just confirmed with police that one man is dead, and at this point they do not have anyone in custody. We asked if they had a description of a suspect. They were not able to provide that, so it's unclear if they even know at this point who they're looking for, but definitely searching for this gunman. In fact, you have the Spokane Police K9 unit. We just saw them behind us. They're about to load a dog up into the car, so still an active scene, but they are letting people go in and out of these apartments. The shooting, we're told, happened inside one of the Catholic Charities Sisters Haven apartments here. It's just about a quarter-mile away from Spokane Falls Community College. So again, police still at this point searching for the suspect. We do know that one person has died from a shooting inside one of these apartments here. We're going to stay on scene and gather as much information as we can. I'll send it back to you.
All right, Kyle Simchuk live at the scene tonight. Kyle, thank you very much. Meantime, across the state line, deputies are investigating a deadly motorcycle crash that killed one man in Coeur d'Alene. According to the Kootenai County Sheriff's Office, 36-year-old Wesley Coffey of Post Falls was riding his motorcycle in Coeur d'Alene yesterday. Coffey reportedly crashed into a car near Prairie Avenue and Cornerstone Drive and died from his injuries a short time later. The cause of the crash is still under investigation, but investigators say speed and alcohol appear to be factors. Anyone with more information is urged to call the Kootenai County Traffic Unit. That number's right there at the bottom of your screen. All right, let's take a quick break from the headlines to talk weather now. The sunshine once again dominating the forecast with temperatures back in the 50s. Jeremy, the 50s at this point in the year feel a whole lot better than the 50s do like in October. Am I right?
Do you want to know some science?
Please.
Yes. It's all about daylight and sun angle. Our sun is much higher and we have a lot longer days this time of year, so that actually plays into it. It's not just because our blood thickens up in winter, which is kind of part of it. Sure, it doesn't get actually thicker. Please don't message me about that. But when you get used to colder temperatures, yeah, 50s do feel quite warm, but it's also the sun angle and the length of day that also makes spring feel a lot better. Temperature, a lagging indicator of daylight. So as our days get shorter in the fall, it takes longer for us to hit those 50s. Anyway, I got to get to the forecast. I don't have much time. So let's dive in. There. Cloud cover lifting in. And it does look like it takes over. So if you're looking to see that 5-planet alignment tonight, sorry, it's just kind of thickening up a little too quick. So moisture moving into the Palouse and moisture moving into the foothills of the Cascades. It's likely where a bulk of that activity stays. We'll see it really ramp up overnight. I think Blewett, Snoqualmie, and maybe a little bit on Stevens is where we see most of that moisture. Tomorrow evening, it looks like we get a little bit more across the Palouse. Does any of this reach it or all the way up into Spokane and Coeur d'Alene? It doesn't really look like it. A few sprinkles aren't out of the question, but for the most part, most of that activity stays a little bit farther to the south. And I do think we still wind up seeing our fair share of sun. I don't think it looks quite as sunny as we initially thought. So yeah, it's a mix of clouds and sun each day. Temperature's not quite in the upper 50s tomorrow, but hey, we'll take mid 50s before the cooler, wetter weather arrives as we get closer to the weekend.
All right, Jeremy, sounds good. We'll check back in with you later in the broadcast. Now into tonight's top stories. In a federal courthouse in Spokane, Washington Attorney General Bob Ferguson filed a multi-state federal lawsuit against the FDA, accusing it of singling out one of the 2 drugs used for medical abortions. Ferguson also accuses the FDA of excessively harsh regulations, despite ample evidence the drug is safer than Tylenol, he says. The lawsuit is co-led by Ferguson and Oregon Attorney General Ellen Rosenblum. He also filed a preliminary injunction asking the court to stop the enforcement of the FDA's restrictions on mifepristone, a common drug used for medical abortions, while the case continues. Well, the City Council also voted to override a mayoral veto on a landlord-tenant ordinance last night. The ordinance originally passed back in February, but was vetoed by Spokane Mayor Nadine Woodward. It streamlines the process for getting people into housing. The city will provide free universal background checks to landlords. Landlords will be required to obtain a business license and update the city about their rentals. City Council overrode the veto in a 5-2 vote.